Right.
Okay, we focus on other news now, partner, from the water situation to unsafe buildings. As we've been reporting, hundreds of people working in unsafe buildings in the Joburg CBD are expected to be relocated this week. Last week, a fire engulfed sections of the Bank of Lisbon building that houses a number of government departments in the Gauteng province. Now, firefighters struggled to contain the blaze for 2 days, and 3 firefighters died in the line of duty. Our colleague Slindelo Masikane has been following that story for us from central Johannesburg. Slindelo, good morning again. Earlier, when we crossed live to you this morning, you were talking to Dinosa and Nahau, and here in the studio, we heard from PSA, and all these worker representative organizations are speaking about one thing: somebody has to take accountability. We've been warning government for a long time now about unsafe buildings, and PSA, you did not hear this, Lindelo, telling us this morning that the department called Civitas, the building called Civitas in Pretoria that houses the Department of National Health, is also unsafe, and they're in fact taking the department to court come this Friday.
Certainly, the blame game, Bradan, is definitely in full swing, and we are seeing from many sides, many quarters, expressing exactly why this disaster had to happen. Of course, we know that coming from Public Works, the Minister Thulas Nxesi alluded to an astounding reaction, saying that what happened here at the Bank of Lisbon could be attributed to a fight back against state capture, which is also something that has not been tested as yet. But as you've said, Bradan, mop-up operations did take place here at the Bank of Lisbon. The streets, Albertina Sisulu as well as Sawa around the building do remain closed. Now I am joined by the EMS services, Nana Khadebo, who's just going to take us through exactly what has happened since the fire was extinguished.
On Saturday, we had a mop-up where we're packing our equipment after making sure that the fire would not reignite, and all the hotspots have been dealt with. We did dumping down almost the whole Friday night. And today we're going to start with fire safety investigations. Our fire safety officers would be here to start with their investigations. This also does include interviews with the people that are still in hospital. But as you can imagine, it would be insensitive of us to even go there and start with interviews. They're still recovering. They have flashbacks of whatever that happened, and they can't give you clear details of what had happened.
Could you just remind us exactly who remains in hospital and what their injuries are?
At this moment, we have 4 of our firefighters that are still in hospital. Mostly they have burns to their hands, and also some of them are still traumatized. So they are still being kept in hospital until probably later this week. We are hoping that they recover speedily. 4 of them have gone home, but as you can imagine, trauma council does still continue because they all have flashbacks of what happened.
Now, of course, we spoke to some of the firefighters last week talking about how when they went into this building, there was no water.
The water pressure was very low, and the high rises could not bring water up. The water for firefighting could not be brought up to the 23rd floor. Hence, we said that the water pressure was very low, and we had to bring in Joburg Water to assist.
Thank you, Nana. All right, that is the latest coming from the Bank of Lisbon. As you would know, that the Gauteng Provincial Department has also put together a task team that is responsible for evacuating all public servants from 7 other buildings that have been non-compliant.
Now, Slindelo, those 7 other buildings, the evacuations, are they happening from today?
Most certainly. In fact, they were meant to begin from last week, Friday, which is when this task team was constituted. It is being led by the Provincial Department of Infrastructure, as well as all other heads of departments. We also understand that MEC Gwen Ramukupa, the health MEC, is expected around 9:45 this morning, and she's expected to begin a wreath-laying ceremony outside this building for the firefighters who lost their lives trying to extinguish this fire.
Thank you very much. They're downtown Johannesburg.